Since 1933, the year that Hitler seized power in Germany, there has been much speculation about the extent to which German businesses backed the Nazi movement both financially and politically. GSE affiliate professor Hans-Joachim Voth has investigated stock market performance of firms supporting the National Socialist German Workers' Party. He found evidence that many firms were intimately connected with the Nazi Party and that these links were seen as very valuable by stock market investors.
So growing up in Germany, I was always told that there's no real evidence to support the standard communist story, that there weren't many links between big business and the Nazi Party. And I always worried about that because we know that the companies made bonfires of their documents as the Allied armies approached. So I wasn't quite sure what we really knew about the extent of connections between the Nazi Party on the one hand and big business on the other. So together with a co-author from the University of Massachusetts, Tom Ferguson, what we decided to do was to do two things. We looked at supervisory board members and then to see whether those firms that had a lot of supervisory board members that supported the Nazi Party saw big changes in their stock price.
The researchers analyzed the value that stock market investors attached to affiliations with the Nazi Party. To do this, they looked at the stock prices of firms both with and without party connections in the months preceding and following the Nazi Party gaining power. In total, they examined 789 firms listed on the German Stock Exchange in 1932, 109 of which were identified as supporting the Nazi Party prior to Hitler coming to power.
So we counted you as connected with the Nazi Party if you did one of two things. If you gave money to the Nazi Party, we counted you as a supporter. And the second form of support that we felt was important was writing to the German president Paul von Hindenburg in the fall of 1932, urging him to make Hitler president. The other thing we needed to do was to establish the stock prices of these companies. And for that we went back to old records of the Berlin Stock Exchange, traced the stock prices of 789 firms, and then matched this with the supervisory board composition of these companies at the time.
Professor Voth found that stock market investors quickly recognized the value of political connections and bid up the price of firms that had an affiliation with the new governing party. Affiliated firms outperformed the stock market by 5 to 10%, with connected firms accounting for the largest part of the rise in total market value.
One of our more compelling discoveries was the sheer range of connections between the Nazi Party and big business. We found that over 100 firms out of our sample of 789 had one type of connection with the Nazi Party or the other. So, weighted by market capitalization, over half of all firms were connected with the Nazi Party in one way or another. And we found this by analyzing supervisory board members rather than just executives. And that's very different from the standard story that people used to tell about connections between big business and the Nazi Party, where the insistence was always that the links were very small, unimportant, and very, very rare.
Although the study quantitatively reveals the value of having close, early connections to the Nazi Party, Professor Voth cautions against crediting big business for the party's rise to power.
So getting better economic advice, I think, made the Nazi Party a much more serious contender for power in the eyes of the conservative elite. Now, if we want to understand why Hitler actually seizes power, we have to understand why the president, Paul von Hindenburg, actually appoints him at the end of January. And the thing you have to understand is that at this stage, Hindenburg is largely senile and dominated by a small group of advisors, and I very much doubt that we'll ever know what's on his mind. So the advice of the industrialists in 32 may have played a small role in that, but I doubt it's very big.